Hi there. Well, tonight I'm going to do something slightly different on the cob because I guess we always do the slow cooking kind of thing, and sometimes I think we should try something else. So what I'm going to do tonight is some beer bratwurst. So over on the left hand side you will see some of my homemade bratwurst. We have some onions that we're going to do with it, some rolls that it's going to go in, and what I've got on the side there, some potato bakes that I've sort of parboiled the potatoes and then mixed them with some cream, some garlic, salt, pepper, and importantly, as learnt in Germany from Mr. Nitschke Senior, some caraway seed, and then I've chopped them off with some cheddar cheese, and I'm going to put them in at the onion stage. What's going to go into that? Basically into the onions, obviously some oil to fry it off. Being a South African, you can't have fried onions without aromat. I'm going to put in a hint of mustard seed and a hint of marjoram, just to remind us of the flavors that are in the bratwurst, and some beer, obviously. I'm starting off with a frying plate. You could use the grilling plate, but I'm just being a bit lazy, I guess, and if you really want little stripes across your bratwurst, you can use the grilling plate. I guess the advantage of doing it this way is that you can get some of the glaze from the bratwurst having cooked on there. So what I'm going to do is pick up some bratwurst, and I'm going to cook it for a while, and we'll get back to you when it's cooked. What we're just trying to do here is get some browning on it, because the actual cooking will happen later. So this is really just a browning stage, and we'll get back to you as soon as that has happened. So what I probably forgot to state at the start is, if you're looking for some uber traditional way of doing this, this is not the video to be watching. This is my take on something that I enjoy. But as you can see now, the bratwursts have got some color to them. So what we're going to do is we're going to take them off. We're going to put on some oil. Scrape off the glaze. I have to say the Cobb frying bit is probably the best thing of the whole kit. It really is a masterful piece of engineering. Just let that heat up for a second or two. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put on our onions. Now what I can say about our onions is we don't want to brown them, so we keep moving them a bit. We just want them translucent, and at that stage we're going to add the beer and the bratwurst back, put in our potato bakes and put on the lid and wait for it all to happen. So just give it a little stir away and enjoy it, because you don't want over browned onions. You just want to soften them up, and then the beer will soften them up even more. Well, probably as you can see, our onions are a bit translucent by now. So we're going to go to the next phase, which, being South African, a helpful dolloping of aromat. Just the way it is. The other flavors we want to do subtly. So I'm going to do a tiny equivalent of a pinch of marjoram, and maybe a few mustard seeds, and that's just to pick up the flavor in the actual sausage. The important phase is we're now going to put some beer into the mix. Then I'll just get the So what we're going to do is we're going to put that to one side. We're going to use that as a bed for our sausages. We're going to get our 2 potato bakes. This is something I've never tried in the Cobb before, but we'll see what happens. So there we go, we're going to put our lid on. And leave the whole thing to do its job. So in the end, this is what we end up with. Some nicely sauteed off onions with a beer flavour and the other bits we put in. Some bratwurst cooked fully through. And the bit I tried that I wasn't sure about, but that's the potato bakes. Quite frankly, they're going to be pretty tasty. If you really wondered about the gratin or alfalfa look where they've been under the grill, the blowtorch can help you, or the grill can help you, if you wish to do that to your guests. But for me, that's going to be pretty damn tasty anyway. So now I'm just going to take that all off there, and I'm going to put it on my plates and enjoy it, really. So in the end, there we go. That's what we end up with. We end up with a roll with some nice beer onions and I use some Tewkesbury mustard just because I'm not traditional, and the gratin, which I can eat away at nicely, and a bit of a salad which I've tried to incorporate elements of what one would traditionally use with a bit of bratwurst. So pickled things, like I've got some pickled onions in there, I've got some gherkin, and besides, I guess, the traditional lettuce and tomato, I've got a bit of pickled chili, jalapeno chili, just because I like that kind of thing. So that's my meal, and I hope you find the inspiration to do something different on your Cobb.